Hi guys, Scott Franklin here from Scott Franklin Performance Coaching. I help people live awesome lives with no regrets. So today I wanted to talk to you about respect or disrespect. So do you feel that your child or teen is disrespectful towards you? Like maybe they're not listening to you or they're very defiant. So I just wanted to cover some concepts on why this may be happening. So to understand that, I'll go back to the beginning where respect comes from. So with respect with the different generations, if you go into our grandparents' generation, respect in that generation was when an elder talks to you, you listen and then you do. You don't ask questions. You just do exactly what they said. And that was respectful for that generation. Then if you come down into my generation was the first generation where we were encouraged to ask questions, right? So people would tell us what to do, or they would tell us something and then we would question things. So we would come across as the first generation of smartasses because we're going against the grain. People are telling us to do something and we're not necessarily doing it. We're questioning, we're poking holes, and we're finding problems or limitations with what people are saying. Then if you go into the generation now, the younger generation, the way that they see it is they've got a very strong sense of self. So what I mean by that is they've got a strong sense of what they like and what they don't like. So I feel that for my generation and above, as we progress through life, we're learning more about who we are and who we're not, what we like and what we don't like. But these kids, it's almost like they're wired up differently. I've done a previous video on crystal children, so I'll touch a little bit on that. Is that the crystal children have a very strong sense of self. They know what they like and what they don't like. So what that means is that if you try and get them to do something that they don't want to do, they're going to be very defiant. And there's going to be a very strong energy towards you not wanting to do it. And what's going to happen is you're going to become tired before they do, which means you're just going to become exhausted trying to convince them to do the things that they don't want to do. Now, the reason they don't want to do things, I believe, comes from values. So I've talked about values before. Values, when your values are met, it lights you up on the inside, and when your values aren't met, it pushes your buttons. Right? So if your values are met, then you're much more likely to want to take action upon something if the values are met. And if your values aren't met and the button's being pushed, then you're less likely to want to take action towards it. So then tied in with a parent-child dynamic, I feel that there's a misunderstanding between each other's values. So any successful sporting team, business, family unit, relationship understand the concept of shared values. So it's team values. So what that means is you need to understand each other's values, but the first step to do that is you need to understand your own values. So your own values, for example, within the home. What are your values within the home? What are your child's values within the home? You know, what are your values at work? What's your value in a friend? What's your values in your ideal career? What's your values in sport? Like everything has a set of values. It's like a criteria that when met makes you feel really good and wants you to do it more. So what's happening with the kids is they feel like their values aren't being met, and from the parents' point of view, you feel like your values aren't being met. And that's what's causing the clash, the misunderstanding there. So the solution is to understand one another's values, and then it's like tit for tat. I'll help you with your values, you help me with mine. Now, because they're kids, I'll run with the 80-20 rule. If they can meet your values 80% of the time and 20% they don't, I feel they're pretty good numbers, and vice versa. But I think I always come back to education. You always want to teach people how you want to be treated and vice versa. So yeah, guys, it comes back to values. I'm going to be doing a webinar on this as part of Mentor You. Follow the link that'll be linked to this video and go to the Mentor You website and Facebook page. There'll be more on it. I'm going to go into depth about understanding one another's values so that we can start to reduce this disrespect that's happening and become respectful of one another just by understanding each other's values. So, yep, looking forward to that, guys. Hope you have an awesome day.